Hey, what's up, fellas and malicious female fans? Steve Malicious here, back today with the S21 Ultra, and more specifically, One UI 4 running Android 12 on the S21 Ultra. And having run Android 12 on the Pixel 6 for 3 weeks now, I was really interested to see how One UI would implement their version, or Samsung would implement their version of Android 12. But before we get to all that, thank you so much to all the new subscribers, oh so close to 5,700. If you've been loving all the tech videos, go ahead and give that subscribe button a tussle. It certainly means a lot to me. So, if you're new to the channel, or perhaps you just don't remember, my journey with One UI did not start out smoothly, and I think that's pretty much that was a universal experience I can think. I wound up not using my Note 9 for almost a year after One UI, the very first 1.0, came out. It was that bad. It was laggy. It didn't work well. The menus, it just took a great phone and it made it a horrible experience. And I was so upset because TouchWiz was so bad, but it still somehow was better than One UI 1.0. And I said, well, is Samsung ever going to be able to get software correct? And sure enough, 2.0 made some improvements. 2.5, I think they really came into their own. 3.0, and now you have all the way up to 4. And really since 2.5, they've made stability and performance absolutely a priority. And it shows. The devices don't lag as much anymore. I think overall, pound for pound, it's a wonderful experience. And One UI 4 really is no different from that. Now, there are some issues. There were some bugs in there. We'll talk about them at the end. I did not have them. But there's a difference in what I see in Android 12 on the Pixel and what I see in Android 12 on the Samsung S21 Ultra. Okay. That being said, let's talk about Android 12 just in general. When you're looking at overall, let's see some notifications. It's a lot of some of the cosmetic stuff pulled over from Android 12. But if you're someone who absolutely hated what they did with Material You, and there's a lot of people that really are upset with Android 12 and the Pixel experience. If you're somebody who wanted kind of a Android 11 feel still, or older Android feel, then One UI 4 really is for you. You can do those things. There are some of the design cues. Like I said, like the notifications have changed. You can add the widgets. You can add, GIFs and other personalization and customization options are available to you here if you want them. But if you don't want them, if you think Material You is ugly, then you can kind of get more of the Android experience you're used to, at least with One UI. You get to keep that. It's not a wholesale change in experience and feel, at least in my opinion, and that's okay. And I don't quite understand the buzz for One UI, for Android 12 and Material You, and why customization became a focal point. Customization is nice. Having more tools, like especially on the widget side, is nice. But it never felt like Android was lacking in terms of the options for customization. In fact, to me, as someone who uses iOS as well, that was always one of the main appeals of Android, is the fact that you could do so much with it. In fact, there were, I think it's an Instagram account that basically does Android home screens. And running Android 10, Android 11, works of art, things you'd never even consider for icons and layouts and wallpapers and all the rest of it. Crazy stuff. And that's always was an option. You can put Nova Launcher on here, go crazy. And, as far as the color bleeding through the rest of the OS and stuff, whatever your wallpaper happens to be, that's all well and good. But, we had colorways and stuff like that and stuff to change on Oxygen OS for years. Nobody cared. Nobody really cared. So that stuff is all going to be personal preference. If you prefer something that's not a wholesale departure from what you liked about One UI, Android 11, Android 10, you're going to get more of the same here if you want it. But if you like that Material You type situation, that's not here. You're going to have to build that yourself. Most importantly, performance. For me, performance was good. Snappy. Getting through all the system functions. Twitter was excellent. It's the best. See, what What other Android... I mean, you don't scroll like this, all right? I understand that. You don't scroll like 100 miles an hour, but you see some wild turkeys going across there. But just how smooth it is as opposed to other devices, other implementations of Android 12. I think they did a good job. There's no hiccups. There's no real stutters. It doesn't feel like it's a beta. It feels like a completed piece of software, at least to me. Other people have had the issue where the adaptive refresh rate isn't quite there, where there's some trouble with it. It stutters. It does other things. I did not have that problem. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and invalidate people who did have that problem. And you know why there's a difference here in approaches? When people complained about it, Samsung, the developers or whatever it was, I think Samsung put out a tweet saying, okay, we hear you. We see it on some devices. We understand. We're working on it. And as of this morning, there was a beta patch for the Note 20 that supposedly fixes it. So they acknowledge that it's a problem. They go ahead and fix it, and they release it. If you notice the first part, acknowledge there's a problem. It's unlike the Pixel experience where you're sitting there and people are coming at you from 6 different ways, telling you you're using the device wrong, or it's I don't have that problem, so that problem can't possibly exist. And then Google's stonewalling you, telling you, well, there's nothing wrong with the fingerprint sensor, you're just using it wrong. Anyway, I'll take this approach to actually constructively working on issues as opposed to just stonewalling you and pretending issues don't exist. So it's nice that they are actively working on it. Overall, there's not going to be a whole lot of change. Battery life to me didn't change here with the S21 Ultra. 5 hours of screen on time. And I've had a lot of people in the comment section jump up and down and tell me that they could get 6, 7 hours. I mean, maybe if you do a bunch of stuff, maybe if you go into brightness, you don't run it at, well, I'm not even running it at 100% here, just off of 100% because it's a nice big bright display. I don't feel the need to do that. I can't get more than 5.5 hours, and that's really trying hard to get to that point. So if you're one of those people who's just getting 6, 7, 8 hours out of this huge battery, let me know. But from 11 to 12, I didn't notice any change. So I mean, in a way, that's good. It didn't go down, but also at the same time, you're wondering how much could it possibly go down with a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, and you're only getting 5 hours. You can't get much worse than that. So as far as that's concerned, no battery life changes. A couple small things that I did like. I love in the camera where they got rid of the trees, which didn't really mean anything. So instead of the trees, now we have actual magnifications. So you have your wide angle, just the regular 1x, 3, and then the 10 for the periscope zoom for the 10x. I like that quite a bit. The other things that I like, you saw it in the corner there. They took the privacy stuff, right? When the camera's active, you get the green dot. When the microphone's active, you get the yellow dot, which is fantastic. I understand there are probably ways around it. I understand hackers can do whatever the heck they want, and that's fine. But the fact that they're putting that stuff in for us to at least at a glance know if we're being recorded, if a camera's open, if a microphone's open when perhaps it shouldn't be, if an app that's a little clumsily designed has a camera or an app open or a microphone open when it shouldn't, that's something that I really like that we get to know. And it's good that they've kind of melded that in and kept that under the hood of Android 12 here in One UI 4. Overall, a good experience. It makes it difficult. The one advantage that iOS has a lot of times is that my work phone's running iOS, I don't even know what, 12, 13. If you ignore upgrading a couple times, it kind of goes away. Android devices are kind of in your face about it. If you don't upgrade to the next one, they bug you to death. So I would absolutely recommend, if you have an S21 Ultra, to go ahead and upgrade and feel good about it. You're not getting a hit in the battery life. You're not getting a hit performance, I don't think. They're actively patching it. They're working. They're listening to people if there's problems, which is good. And you get those added customization features and stuff that you might want to do. Which is enough of the polish of Android 12 without a wholesale departure, I think is where we pretty much land as far as the aesthetics of One UI 4. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-alicious day.